Availability. We're joined by New York Red Bulls head coach Sandro Schwarz. Always raise your hand, direct it towards me, and I'll call you and ask coach a question. First thing I saw was Anthony. Anthony, you have the floor.
Coach, obviously it's a frustrating.
I'm not frustrated.
So to speak then about two players that seem to do really well in this game, Cam Harper and Dylan Nealis. How are your feelings about how they played in this game?
Yeah, I would say the whole team for me was a very good performance, especially after the last week, after this New England game. But today the performance was for me very well, and especially and also from these post players on the right side. They create a lot of situations and transitions and build up, and a lot of good deep runs from our strikers, and we had a lot of situations in the box. We create a lot of good moments. So, and I said this to the whole team, sometimes you don't get the result which you deserve. So this was today the main point, which is not so good for us, the result, but how we play, how we defend as a team, how we create these situations was very good for me.
Next, we go to Sean in the back.
Coach, so many shots, so many blocked, a few wide. What is
Yeah.
the message of the players on?
I agree. What can I say now as a head coach now? I know the numbers about the shots. I know the situations which we create, and it was the main part. And I mentioned this in the press conference on Thursday. So this was the main part for us to create our moments when we are in the red zone, when we are outside on the line, to create our moments in the box. So we had these situations, and now this is what we have to continue, and then I'm sure we have the quality then as well to score.
Next, we go to Andrew.
But I agree with all these numbers. It's a little bit then, I would say, then frustrating.
Next, we go to Andrew.
Hi, Coach.
Hi.
I thought Daniel Hedman had a great game. It seemed like his passing range might have expanded a little bit. We know he's a great defensive asset, but it seems like he's trying riskier balls and more sort of forward passes. Has that been sort of an intentional part of his development?
Yeah, this is an individual part of Danny Edelman, and his mentality is great, and his behavior in our defense is great as well. And for him, individual is a big part to make the next step is in his passing situations to play forward, if it's possible to play vertically, and he made it today with Frankie to Meyer together. They made it very well. Yeah.
Next, we go to Gary.
A couple of chances that Vancier had seemed like he was trying to either oversimplify it, trying to make shots and such. In some cases, getting in his own way. Have you spoken with him during training, see you trying to ease things up? Because it looked like he really tried hard this evening, but couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah, we talked the whole week about our box positions, about our players in the box and around the box, and in this case, in the first half especially, we created a lot of good moments after transition, most more in the first half, more after transition moments than the second half, more in our build-up situation, and Dylan joined a lot of good situations and around the box, and was a good shot in this moment, but before the rule is when the ball is on the hand, then it's not a goal.
Next, we go to Christian.
Good evening, Coach. I have
Good evening.
two questions for you. Just what's the status of Forsberg?
Mhm.
And the second one, although it was 0-0, you still keep the streak alive at home. One of your players had a fantastic performance, great defensive display from Noah Isla. What are some of your analysis there?
Yeah, with Emil, the situation is we have to check him now for the next 2 days, if it's possible, maybe against Montreal or the next home game against Toronto next Saturday. So we will see. He had some problems after his national game with Sweden, and his problems with his foot on the right side, I think. And Noah, played very well after the national break, and it's also not so easy for him to come during the week and after a long flight. But he played very well with the whole back four behavior, with all both six position in our defense, and Noah is an important player for us.
Next, we go to Michael.
Coach, talking about the change between the first half and the second half, you guys had Nashville locked down. They had no shots against you. Even into the second half, they were getting more possession in your end. Your defense held strong. Talk about what your back line did so well tonight that even though they had 5 shots, none of them were on target against Ryan Mira, and he earned his second clean sheet of the year.
Yeah, it starts with our pressing to find the right moment, and I said this on Thursday as well in the press conference. It starts with to find the right moment, to find our triggers for our pressing behavior, and then it's more easier as well for our back four, for our center backs to step out, and I think this was very good from the whole team, this behavior, and then it's more easier for our center backs to step out when we find the right moment for our pressing. And in our rest defense, very good organization, and especially in the second half when we have them more our build-up situations, our ball position, and then it's important to organize our rest defense against Soroc with our center backs, Danny Edelman then in front of Soroc against Hani Mukhtar, and this was very well and good communication, and we need this when we want to play dominant. Then it's very important to have a very good rest defense, and in the final third, when we lose the ball, when we want to play deep, we have these deep runs, then we need our counter press, and this was very good. The only thing was today that we didn't score, but that can happen in a game.
Next, go to Daniel Feuerstein on Zoom.
Sandro, please talk about Ryan Mira's performance in 3 matches.
Yeah.
He's been pretty solid for you guys with Coronel being away with Paraguay. And also, what does it mean to see your players after a loss having a bounce-back performance like they did tonight? Like you said, they didn't get the result, but it was a better performance.
Yeah, it was a good performance for me, and we analyzed this last game directly on Sunday in our video session, and then we trained a lot of this situation with our deep runs, and that was a very good performance. And I don't want to talk about the reaction because the game was last week, and now we had some new players in our starting lineup. And Ryan, I said this to our goalkeeper coach directly in the locker room, for me is a great personality, and he showed this personality as well in the games, and great attitude, and very concentrated, focused on his job to coach the center backs in set pieces. And Nashville is very, they have a good set pieces moments in this season, and but Ryan for me was top, and his personality, and he gives then also the confidence to our back four.
We have time for 2 more questions with Coach. First, we go to Voss on Zoom.
Good evening, Coach. Bit of an unfortunate result at the tie, but a lot of positives to take from this sort of result. And just wanted to ask you on the attack, what more can you ask from your forwards to try to get on the score sheet more consistently? Because we did see that a few goals got disallowed, but they're still struggling a bit in front of the net to try to get those shots off. So what are your words to them possibly?
I'm not worried about that. The only way, and this is my experience as well as a player, and okay, I didn't score as a player in my career, but as a head coach is to create every time the next situation, to try the next moment, to try the next situation, to make the next deep run, to come in the box position. This is what we have to do, and I'm sure, and I think in this season we scored a lot of goals. And now today was 0-0. It's good that you then have, if you don't score, then it's necessary that you didn't concede a goal today. So now we have to create these moments on Wednesday in Montreal, on Saturday, and then I'm sure that we are able to score.
We have time for one. We'll go to John in the back.
Defensively, you guys, I thought, did a good job of limiting Nashville's opportunities, because we know how dangerous a player Surridge can be, and they obviously have other attacking threats. So can we just talk about how well, we know offensively you had so many chances, but defensively, Nashville really didn't have many good looks. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, back four behavior was very well. And both center backs, they made a great job in our rest defense. What I mentioned, especially in the second half, in our ball position, our 6th position organized very well. So our pressing, and this is the best part then as well, and especially important for our back four when we start our pressing in a good moment, and to find the right moments with our strikers to close the center, and with our 10 position on the side to find the right moment, and this is then more easier for our back four, and then they can very good step out.
Coach, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time.